Your life if you never invest in your 20s. The math is brutal. There is a number that nobody tells you when you are 22 years old. It is not a complicated number. It does not require a finance degree to understand. It does not involve derivatives or options or any instrument more sophisticated than a basic index fund that a 10-year-old could explain. But it is a number that, if you understood it fully and felt its weight completely, would change the financial decisions you make in the next 5 years more than any other piece of information available to you. The number is the cost of waiting. Specifically, the cost of waiting 10 years to start investing, which is what most people in their 20s do, not out of laziness or irresponsibility, but because nobody ever showed them the math clearly enough for it to land as the emergency it actually is. Today I am going to show you that math, and I promise you, by the time we get the final number at the end of this video, you will understand why the title says brutal, because that is exactly the word for it. Stay with me until the end. The last comparison in this video is the one that stays with people for years after they watch it. Do not skip ahead. Let's get into it. First, how compounding actually works. Before the numbers, you need to understand the mechanism, because compounding is one of those concepts that everyone has heard of and almost nobody has genuinely internalized, because the human brain is not naturally equipped to think exponentially. We think in straight lines. Compounding does not move in a straight line. It moves in a curve that starts almost flat and then bends upward so sharply that the final years produce more growth than the first 2 decades combined. Here is the simplest possible version. You invest $1,000. It earns 10% in year 1, $100. Now you have $1,100. In year 2, it earns 10% again, but 10% of $1,100 is $110, not $100. In year 3, 10% of $1,210 is $121. The amount you earn each year grows not because you added anything, but because the base it is growing from is expanding. This sounds modest. The magic happens over decades. Over 30 years at 10% annual return, that single $1,000 investment becomes $17,449. You invested $1,000. Time and compounding produced the other $16,449 for free from nothing except patience. Now scale that up. Now add the dimension of starting 10 years earlier or 10 years later. Now watch what happens. The person who starts at 22. Meet the first person. They are 22 years old, just out of university, starting their first real job. They read something about investing, maybe a book, maybe a video like this one, and they make a decision that feels small at the time. They invest $300 per month into a broad market index fund. They do not pick stocks. They do not time the market. They simply put $300 in every single month and leave it there, $300 a month, at 22 years old, which, depending on where you live, is either very achievable or requires modest sacrifice. Fewer dinners out, a slightly older car, a more considered approach to spending. It is not nothing, but it is not extraordinary either. They do this every month, without interruption, earning the stock market's historical average return of approximately 10% annually until they retire at 65. That is 43 years of investing. Total money invested over 43 years at $300 per month, $154,800. Portfolio value at 65, approximately $2,100,000. They invested $155,000. The market gave them the other $1,945,000. Nearly $2 million generated entirely by time and compounding, not by any additional contribution or extraordinary return. The person who waits until 32. Now meet the second person. Same age today, same income, same $300 per month available if they choose to invest it. But they spend their 20s doing what most people do in their 20s. Living, spending, enjoying, telling themselves they will start investing when they're more settled, when they earn more, when the timing is better. At 32, they start. Same $300 per month. Same 10% average annual return. Same retirement at 65. That is 33 years of investing instead of 43. A 10-year difference. Total money invested over 33 years, $118,800. $36,000 less invested than the first person. Portfolio value at 65, approximately $780,000. Read that again. $780,000 versus $2,100,000. The person who waited 10 years, who invested $36,000 less in total, ends their working life with $1,320,000 less than the person who started at 22. $1,320,000. Lost not to bad investments, not to fraud, not to any catastrophe. Lost to 10 years of waiting. That is the cost of your 20s. That is the number nobody told you. Why this happens, the decade that does all the work. The reason the gap is this large comes down to one counterintuitive truth about compounding that most people never fully absorb. The first decade of investing is the most important decade. Not because it produces the most growth in dollar terms, but because the money invested in that decade has the longest time to compound. Every dollar invested at 22 has 43 years to grow. Every dollar invested at 32 has 33 years. That 10-year difference, applied to the compounding curve, produces a gap that cannot be closed by working harder later, earning more in your 30s, or investing larger amounts after fact. The person who starts at 32 and tries to compensate by investing more would need to contribute approximately $750 per month, 2.5 times as much, to reach the same $2 million outcome as the person who invested $300 per month starting at 22. 2.5 times a monthly sacrifice for the same result. That is the math. That is why the title says brutal. The objections. You are thinking something right now. One of several things. You are thinking, I do not have $300 per month, and this is a legitimate objection for some people. The response is that the number is not sacred. $50 per month started at 22 becomes something real at 65. $100 per month becomes something more real. The specific dollar amount matters less than the habit, the automation, and the starting point. Whatever you can invest consistently, start with that. The difference between starting now with a small amount and starting later with a larger amount nearly always favors starting now. You are thinking, the market does not always return 10%. Also true, over any 10-year period, a market can produce wildly different results. Over any 40-year period, the variance is dramatically smaller. No 40-year period in the history of the U.S. stock market has produced a negative return for a diversified index investor. The 10% figure is a historical average, not a guarantee, but it is the most offensible long-term assumption available, and the direction of the error is almost always in the investor's favor over long enough periods. You are thinking, I am already past 22, and this is the objection I want to address most directly. If you are 27, the math is still powerfully in your favor. If you are 32, the math is less favorable than it would have been at 22, but dramatically better than it will be at 42. The best time to start was the day you got your first paycheck. The second best time is today. The cost of waiting is highest in the years you have not yet lived. The years that have already passed cannot be recovered. But the curve of compounding does not end the moment you miss its best starting point. It simply starts from wherever you are. The number I promised you, the final one, the difference between starting at 22 and starting at 32 on $300 per month at 10% annual return is $1,320,000. Not earned, not saved, not worked for in any additional way, just given freely by time to the person who started and taken away permanently from the person who waited. The math is brutal. Start today. Subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.